Definitely ocean adjacent. So look at this. This is like its own little mini island continent here. Hello everyone, the Ranks is here, and welcome back to No Man's Sky, where it's a new day and a new discovery. Oh, we got turned around. We literally pulled the nose up and then back down on the spacecraft. No, we're leaving Slataria and heading towards the final unexplored planet in this system. Aha! An ultramarine planet. Now I can't help but notice this planet doesn't have storm clouds on it. Which means, if I'm not mistaken, that its storms are different and therefore out of sync with the other storms in the system. We're not ready to leave this galaxy yet, so we can stop with those sorts of hotkeys and instead marvel at how much of this used to be ocean and now appears to not be ocean at all. I think we want to see the most specific land structures. We want to head over here, where the actual water on the surface is few and far between. Oh, and these ridge lines. Whoa, these ridge lines. Oh my, oh my. Like vertebrae, like ridgeback. Look at these things. Are you kidding me? That's just... like, that is some rough terrain. It's steep, it's jagged, it's rocky, and look at these growths coming out of it at all different angles. Yeah. It's time to settle the Nightmare in Space down, get them to go ahead and land, and do some planetary analysis. Prep for deep planetary analysis in this system. Unfathomable storms are the weather listed. First scan shows that these stones are formed under high pressure. And awkwardly, despite forming under high pressure, they're buoyant. Long-sighted eats mostly rocks. Low specific gravity. Plant deposits. Yo, there is something about this terrain. Oh, what? What? I don't know. I don't know. I like that these mountain peaks form like this ridge that follows in a line. Is that water all the way at the bottom? Or haze? I can't tell. It looks like water, doesn't it? Oh, what is happening? Can we go back up on top of this ridgeline, please? Just about like this. Please and thank you. Oh, wow. It's gotta be... ooh, vintage? No. Deepened. Nope, no, but then sometimes you can't beat the default filter. You just have to let the sun come down just a little bit more. Right? Look at that blue. That's that ultramarine they're talking about. Ultramarine. What a blue it is. What am I hearing? It's these birds still circling overhead. Yeah, can't even scan them. They're so large they don't register on the scanner. I mean, this is this is some rough terrain. I don't even know where I would go from here. I'm almost like paralyzed with uh-oh. There is water down there. Alright, first things first. Let's just do a scan. Let's see if we can find anything. Ruins nearby? No. Again. Let's look at the actual fauna here. So we've got, again, flying creatures only, 3 species of flying creatures, and then 4 different underwater species. This planet doesn't appear to have massive oceans, though. I saw it looked like it had a lot of oceans from far away, and then once we got closer to it, really they were just like big lakes. All right, let's do it. You knew we were going to. You knew we had to. Here it goes. Here it goes. Woo! Boom! Nice. That's it. Splash down. Oh, it's very shallow. And we're already spotting some underwater creatures here. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Jellyfish, okay, I got you. Not have to startle me like that, and then a regular fish. So really we're just missing the large rare predator that I'm sure exists here. But look at these. These are interesting as heck. They don't really want anything to do with me. These mountains are very jagged, but they don't appear to be as tall as some of the other mountains we've seen. Like, they're definitely tall. I don't think anybody would argue that. They are tall. But, like, they're not high-stakes swamp tall. These are more of a realistic sort of tall. Like, I think when you say, hey, these mountains are really tall, this is what you think of. A realistic height. Up the mountain we go. You know what else I'm not seeing a lot of? Flora. According to our exploration chart on this ultramarine planet with unfathomable storms, there are 25 unique species of flora here, and I've yet to really see any of them. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, easy, easy, easy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop. Okay, 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 okay. Good night. Ah, ah! You know, this might be a time where this is actually easier to do. Whoa, no! Nope, I think it's quite virtually impossible to stand on this thing. We'll just have to take that as a victory. Wow. This is something else here. There's like no way we're calling the Nightmare in Space in here. Look at these. They're like flat shelves, but also kind of reminiscent of what you would expect to see on the surface if this was like your base elevation, if it didn't go any lower than this. That one was from a meteorite impact. So there's a couple of different of these land formations. There's some that stick really... Okay, okay. Don't startle me like that. Good night. Let's get the Nightmare in Space over here. Something tells me this terrain isn't all over the entire planet. I'd like to go see the coastline. I'd like to see where this meets the ocean. Alright, let's break out of the atmosphere for a moment. Of course, from here now it all looks like terrain, like there's no ocean. Go figure. Alright. Time for a little bit of distance. That looks like that's going to be coast adjacent. Oof. Still got the terrain. Yeah, so you can see this is kind of cloud level here. This is about where High Stakes Swamp was reaching. Okay, look, no, we're leveling out here. Yep, this is where we make our transition to ocean. And behind us, just, oh, it gets so rocky and so obnoxious so quickly. I kind of like that. I don't know if we should be flying this low. I don't think we're near the ocean, though. Like, I think that's like a lake, right? Oh, no. we were getting to the ocean. We were definitely ocean adjacent. So look at this. This is like its own little mini island continent here. Let's just swing down here and see what sort of terrain we're dealing with. Yeah, this is relatively flat. I mean, by comparison, can you imagine if this was the only place you stopped at? This is why you have to, like, check each planet out in earnest. If this was where you landed, if you said, I'm going to land on this island, you would say, oh, okay, oof, watch the terrain, thanks goodness. You'd say, yeah, I'm going to land on this island, and we'll survey and get an idea of what the planet's like. And you would look around and go, well, we have these gigantic pillar structures that dot the landscape, and no real terrain to speak of. Like, could you imagine? No real terrain to speak of. Be nice to find a few more birds, if you know what I'm saying. But look at this haze. This is ridiculous. Okay, there's another flying creature. And the final one. This coloring, though, it definitely evokes some feelings. This blue mist, yellow sky, the Wixar wetlands. For real, you could see this and absolutely be like, oh, there's rolling hills and, you know, some varied elevation, but nothing significant to report. And look how large these rock pillar stalagmites look. Because on the mountains, they were like accessories. They were like adornments on the mountains. Ooh, a monolith. I accept those terms. Let's go to the monolith. Really? Fuel is required? I do think there's probably some value into gathering this oxygen, even though we've been sitting on a surplus for a while. I don't really want to run out of my surplus. That way we'll always have a stack or two. You know how it goes. That looks like a heat warp, doesn't it? Reestablish. Oddly enough, the weather here is really nice and peaceful. How peculiar. Let's see what we have here at the Monolith. Traveler, embrace unknown, shine light in darkness, discover galaxy center. Ah, we did that. Stars have aligned above the monolith. In the heavens above, two distinct lines of distant suns can be seen stretching out into the depths of space. To be here at this exact moment in time, when the moving parts of the galaxy are aligned so perfectly, would seem almost an impossibility. I am filled with a strange calm. One line of stars points towards the glow of a dull red giant, the other on an unseen point far, far beyond my vision. I'm blessed with a gift that will aid my journey in this distant, unknown location. Yeah. The galaxy center. But look at the sand and grass. There's something about this planet that's starting to really pull me in. It's just, I feel like it's just straightforward. It's just like, hey, we've got your electric yellow sky with a tint of green. We've got your large rocks formations and very little flora. We've got flying fauna and some water and mountains away from the coast. Maybe that doesn't make sense. It just feels straightforward. Look at that bird. Derpin, derpin, derpin. Alright. I think we're ready to go to the no kidding oceans. Oh snap. I forgot, you gotta be careful with that when you get these large structures like that here. Can you imagine if you used these things for like base construction? You just like land on top of it? No. None of that. What I'm surprised about is that this island looked relatively close to the coast when we landed on it, and then yet, yeah, there we go. Look at all these islands. Well, the overall sea level is fairly low. You know what? I'm not happy with this. I want ocean, dang it. I don't want, like, a sandbar. There's not a lot of ocean to be had here. Where's our star shining from? You know what? Let's step back. Let's step away for a minute. Gain a little more perspective. Oof, careful. Right, that's what we want. This direction. You can see it changes from water to land fairly quickly. I think this is the most like ocean you're gonna get. No, nope, not even. There we go, there we go. And then even still, the islands are going to pop up. On this ultramarine planet. Are we going to be able to land on this atoll? Maybe, maybe not. It's just barely beneath the surface. Oof. I've already seen that our favorite specific type of algae is in occurrence here. I think it's very interesting that almost every planet has an ocean, and they've all got these sort of algae bloom structures, these columns of algae. Very interesting. Okay, well, we're off on the hunt for rare aquatic fauna. And maybe a wreck as well. Oof, it's cloudy in the water. And look at that, we've already found it. This one, though, is a little bit larger and different than the ones previous. I think the question is, what's up with the similarities here? First, let's get our nanites. Secondly, so we have oceans, large algae bloom structures, a lot of the same mosses, and bioluminescent plants, and a lot of the same predators on each planet's ocean. What does it mean, I wonder? This bottom seems pretty sandy. It's almost like it's green, but it has the same sort of electric yellow, green, lime green feeling that the clouds do during the day. Could be a product of some kind of particulate in the atmosphere that has settled extensively in the ocean, and then of course it's obviously being utilized by some of the plants for their bioluminescent properties. Reporting a actually pretty shallow average depth here and a lot of sandbars. It kind of reinforces what we already knew, which is that the sea level is actually relatively shallow on this planet. I think we'll scan some of these algae blooms here. Nutrient source sunlight. You don't say. Nice, I love it. Atmospheric moisture. How about underwater moisture? Air leaching with stunted roots. A little coral. There's something about that sky color. I'm normally not a fan of like yellow skies, but it's not quite yellow, is it? I mean, it is. It is yellow. I don't want to split hairs, but it's like off yellow. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's like a shimmery blue, that ultramarine kind of haze happening on this planet. And when the atmosphere is observed, hold up. Is this like a trench? Did you see the scanner pick that up? Looking for high and low sections. See, and this is the burden with not just taking the Nautilon to where you need to go, is that sometimes you can end up without a parking spot. I wish you could modify one ship to have, like, aquatic landing gear. Alright, so this isn't incredible. This doesn't have an incredible amount of depth to it. But I think it's still, at its lowest points, it's going to cap out at deeper than where we were prior. It would make sense that the oceans would have a degree of variation, same as the land would. So what I would like then, I guess what my Christmas list is going to have, is like better ocean scanning technology, like the ability to plot. Like, it would be nice if we could scan from atmosphere to find, like, the high and low points. Like, maybe a few key mountains and trenches. And then also, potentially... I'll take that. And then maybe even potentially, like I said, some underwater volcanoes, some more varied underwater flora. I feel like you can get a lot more creative with these sorts of algae structures, and then even this type of seaweed growth, but also with the coral. I mean, I think you can get really out there, really crazy. A28 plus 8, 5.5 million units, the Song of Gravity. I accept these terms. Let's salvage this ship. Slowly but surely, we're going to recover our Ephesium supply. Let's see what the distress beacon has to say. I clamber through the ship's hatch and see the holographic black box playing on an eternal loop. For some reason, the electronic pilot was shot down by its own kind. Ugh. Investigating the hold reveals rows of metallic shell casings hung from the walls, empty electronic bodies waiting to be filled with life. The pilot had clearly gone rogue with the precious cargo, and the crash site never discovered. Let's increase the homing beacon power. Hey, A-class module. Thank you kindly for that. Yeah, I think we're gonna claim this ship. An A-class mid-size. I can do that. Let's break this and see what we get. There's our one dihydrogen jelly, so we don't have to make one. We are going to need to make a hermetic seal. I don't really care about the hyperdrive working or not. Look at that. We didn't even need to repair the section with dihydrogen jelly. Not even necessary. All right. Yep. Still, it disappoints me only because at some point we're going to have to go back and gather more activated copper. That makes me weep. Makes me weep so much. But I suppose we should just kick that can down the road and not worry about it till it's time, right? Okay, and the technology spaces. I've been told these don't matter for your trade-in, but I guess we can always give it a test. All right, well, let's take this thing back, but first let's name our wonderful discovery. Maybe like electric mountains. I think we'll do that. Just because it's a reminder of the electric, like, yellow color, but also the mountains are very jagged and sharp and following lines, almost like, you know, like a lightning bolt or an electric current, right? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And that concludes the final planet in this system, which means it'll be time to move on to a new one. I think we're just going to stick with undiscovered planets pretty much non-stop. Like every day, a new undiscovered planet. This cockpit feels really busy compared to the living ship. But I guess it's just because I'm not used to it. The living ship has a lot of busyness inside of it as well. Oh, right. Let's get inside, let's dock, and let's conduct a practical experiment. Alright, so if we come over here to the scrap terminal, it informs us that breaking down the Song of Gravity is 3.8.5 million. So let's repair, what's an easy one to repair? Oh yeah, oxygen and dioxide, that's easy. It still says 3.8.5 million units. Let's just go ahead and claim it. Until we gain value by repairing the technology sections, I don't really want to do it. Alright, we got some good items here. Storage augmentation. That's always good. Ionized cobalt. We don't really need it, but we'll take it. And then look at all of these modules. I think we're going to hold on to those. We're going to sort these out later. I do enjoy having all that space on the Relentless. It's a beautiful thing. Korvax will grant upgrades. Actually, I would like to sell you upgrades. What do you think about that? That's right. Working those nanites up there. Slow and steady. Geodesite, that's going to go in our shiny rocks container. And then I think we can afford to sell the fossils and the cogs. And that'll be about where we bring this one to an end. Don't forget that every month now we're doing a highlight, a recap of the 10 coolest planets that we found as tourist recommended destinations in our region here. So feel free to speak out in the comments and let me know if a particular planet or system you think 100% deserves to make the cut. I do hope you've had a good time watching, because as always, I've had a good time playing. Until next time, take care.